You guys. I mean everybody who's here. Really, I shouldn't say everybody because most people are not here. By a pretty huge majority, most people are not here. Most people are in China, actually. That's true. Actually, that's not true. Most people are dead. Did you know that? It's true. Out of all the people that ever were, almost all of them are dead. There are way more dead people. And you're all gonna die, and then you're gonna be dead for way longer than you're alive. Like, that's mostly what you're ever gonna be. You're just dead people that didn't die yet. There are so many dead people. Ray Charles is dead. Hitler. A bunch of other ones. But mostly those two guys. And it's true, Ray Charles and Hitler are both dead, and really it's the only thing they have in common, because otherwise they're very different dudes. Many contrasts between Hitler and Ray Charles. I'm gonna tell you a few of them. Ray Charles was black. Hitler was not. Hitler killed several Jews. Too many, I'll say too many. He killed an excessive amount of Jews. He really beat that thing to the ground. He killed away, no moderation. Ray Charles, meanwhile, hardly any Jews. He killed so few Jews.
I live in New York. There's no value to your doing that at all. I live in New York. There's this old lady in my neighborhood, and she's always walking her dog. She's very old. She just stands here just being old. And the dog just fights gravity every day. Just the two of them, the dog's got a cloudy eye, and she's got a cloudy eye, and they just stand there looking at the street in 2 dimensions together, and she's always wearing like this sweater dress. I guess it was a sweater when she was like 5'10", but now it's just like this sweater, and her legs are a nightmare. They're just white with green streaks and bones sticking out, and her legs are awful. I saw a guy with no legs wheeling by, and he was like, ugh, no, thank you. I do not want those. I'd rather just have air down here like I have. And to look down at that shit. I see these two all the time. And I always look at them and I always think, God, I hope she dies first. I do! I hope she dies first for her sake. Because I don't want her to lose the dog. I don't think she'll be able to handle it. If the old lady dies first, I'm not worried about the dog, because the dog doesn't even know about the old lady. This dog is aware of 3 inches around his head. He's living in 2-second increments. The second he's in and the one he just left is all he knows about. But if he dies, this lady, she's gonna be destroyed, because this dog is all she has. And I know he's all she has because she has him. If she had one person in her life, she would not keep this piece of shit little dog. Even if just some young woman in her building one morning were to say, "Good morning, Gladys," she'd be like, "Oh, good," and just flush him down the toilet. Just, dog just keeps bumping on the drain. She gives up. Ends up just shitting on her dog for the rest of her life. You ever flush a pet down the toilet? And I'm like, yes. She's like, what? You don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Fuck you. I don't know this bitch. I have no idea what she's thinking. I really wish I did. I wish I knew what she was thinking. It's my biggest wish maybe in life is that I knew, because I know she has thoughts. I know she does. There's no way she's just like, dog. There's stuff going on in here. I've seen it. You ever watch your dog make a decision? You ever watch your dog just walk in the room and then look around like... Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Why? Please tell me why. I think my dog thinks I'm insane. Because I look at my life through her eyes. Like, I'll watch TV for 4 hours. And from my dog's point of view, I'm just sitting there. Why the fuck is he laughing? What happened? My dog is my life now because my kids are growing up. The little one, the 9-year-old, life's a little simpler. Tap dancing. She takes tap dancing class. We started her with tap dancing because we figure by the time she grows up, it'll be the 1930s again. And yeah, she'll have this thing she can do that nobody enjoys watching. Do you know who the audience is for tap dancing? The parents of tap dancing students. That's all of it. Because we all have to go to the show at the end of the tap dancing semester. And they have a big theater show, and all the kids get up there. They all tap dance in groups of 3s. There's about 6,000 kids. They do about 20 minutes each. So the show's about 7 months long. And everybody dies at the end. But you go because you want to see your kid tap dance. Because that's an amazing thing. Because this was a baby. She was just a baby. She was just like, that's it. And now she's going like this. It's amazing. But you gotta watch all those other kids that you don't love at all. You gotta watch people, grown-ups do it. There's grown-up adult students and they get up there. Get off, nobody's here to see you. Nobody. Your parents are dead, you're 52. Nobody came from work, nobody came from work. I take her every Thursday to tap dancing. And we go up to the school and she puts on her tap shoes and she goes in the room. I don't go in there and she tap dances and I wait outside because it's 40 minutes. It's not enough time to go anywhere. So I just sit there and listen to and she comes out, I'm tired of this. I don't want to go anymore. Good, don't. I don't want to bring you. Quit. Quit. I don't care. I don't push my kids into this shit. Because you got to do it too. I don't want to do it. Daddy, I'm tired of soccer. Soccer is out of our lives forever. With those words from thine mouth. Soccer is gone. I don't care. Don't go to school. I don't want to get up at 7. Don't do any of this shit, honey. I don't care. I have money. Just eat the food in the house. Stay home and eat. You and your sister. Anyway, I was on a plane and there was these 2 babies and they were crying the whole time. Crying the whole flight, and that happens a lot. I don't think they knew each other. They're just crying. I've seen this on so many flights, I started to wonder, is there a reason for this? Is there like an actual reason why babies... So I looked it up. Turns out there's an actual reason why babies cry on airplanes, and it's because they're upset that gay people are getting married. Yeah. They're, like, really upset. Like, inconsolably upset. Honey, the country's changing. And I don't agree with them. I think if people are in love, they should get married. But they can't accept that. Because they're just, they're just being babies. Babies are selfish. They are. Babies are selfish. They just, meh. No baby ever goes, meh, but how are you doing, though? I have two daughters, and both of them at one time were babies, and I held them and they cried on planes. It's happened to me. I've had a baby on a plane. If you're ever, this is how selfish people are. When you're on a plane and you hear a baby crying, you think that's happening to you. You're like, oh, this is gonna ruin my flight. It's gonna ruin it. Well, look at the parent, because that person is holding a crying baby on a plane, which means they've been traveling with a baby all day, which means they have a baby. Okay? So their life isn't even good. They don't like anything. Their whole life was, Jesus. If there's any joy for them, it's that this is now bothering other people. Yeah, you listen to this shit now. Wah! I remember one time my babe was crying on the plane. She was really upset. And this guy and some businessman on the plane, because businessmen always think that every flight is a private plane of theirs that we're all like piggybacking on. And this guy has this fucking newspaper, and he turns around to look at me and my baby, and he looks right at me. He doesn't kind of like go like this. He looks at me like, Like, could ya? Like, oh, I'm sorry, is this bothering you? Let me just... You all just clapped for a dead baby. You applauded a dead baby. Yeah. You know, I'm glad I'm this. This is a pretty good deal when you consider the alternatives. Anything else, any other kind of thing, you're in the food chain. You're in the food. We are out of the food chain. I don't know if we fully appreciate the fact that we got out of the food chain. That is a massive upgrade. Because for every other living thing, life ends by being eaten. That's how all life ends, is every single life except human life. Every life ends like this. Ah! 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 We're the only ones that get to just die old in a bed. Just, I love you. Bye. I mean, imagine if we were still in the food chain on top of everything else. Imagine if we were in the food chain. It would just be another thing you gotta deal with. You're already having a bad day. You wake up in the morning, you're making breakfast, you burn your toast, and it's too late to try again. And your kid comes in and says, "Bleh," and you're like, fine. And it's just, why? You get a thing in the mail that says that your phone's different and your mortgage is another company now. What? I don't get it. Then you're walking to work like, why do I even bother? Oh, shit! God damn it! There's always fucking cheetahs at the train station. Stop it! Okay, so I'm looking at the couple, and they got a kid with them, and I'm curious what their kid looks like. And they come around the corner, and this is a true story. It wasn't a kid. It was a little old Chinese woman walking next to them. And here's what my dumb brain tells me. I go, oh, that's what their child is like. Not like, oh, she's a separate person, she's not with them. I'm like, oh, that young couple gave birth to a tiny, elderly Chinese woman. Isn't that interesting? And then the other part of me had to go, dude, yeah, that's what happened, yes. Asshole. And then I was looking at the little old Chinese lady.
there was a beauty to her. She's just tiny, little old Chinese. I was staring at her because I was fascinated by her. I don't know anybody like her, and I am so not a little old Chinese lady. That I was like, what are her thoughts? That was what I was burning inside with. What is she thinking right now? I can never know. And I realized the dumb brain is telling me that she's just thinking, that's how dumb I am. That I think Chinese gibberish that I made up is in her actually Chinese mind. That's all just me, Chinese. Of course, I can't know what she was thinking. She could be thinking anything. Black people steal. So I'm like, I'm not saying they steal. I'm saying that fucking racist Chinese lady might have been thinking it. She might have been. It's possible.
Was having a dance thing at our school. They had this big dance. Anyway, we all went, all the parents, and everybody's there, and everybody's got their phone. Every single parent. It was an amazing thing to watch, because kids are dancing, and every parent is standing there like this. Every single person was blocking their vision of their actual child with their phone. And the kids, I went over by the stage, and the kids, there's people holding iPads in front of their faces. It looked like we're all in the witness protection program. Like, the kids can't see their parents. And everybody's watching a shitty movie of something that's happening 10 feet. Like, look at your fucking kid. The resolution on the kid is unbelievable. If you just look, it's totally HD. Why are you taping this? You're never gonna watch it. In a million years, you're not gonna watch videos of your kids doing shit you missed the first time it happened. You don't watch it, you just put it on Facebook. Here, you watch it. I want to take a nap now. And then you get to read all the comments. Oh my God! It's so cute! And guess what? They're not watching it either. They're not watching the video. These kids are dancing for no one. Nobody watches the videos on your Facebook. They see the first frame of a kid and they go, that's very nice. Okay, back to this. Nobody's watching your kids' videos on Facebook, I promise you. I'll prove it to you. Next time you tape your kids dance, take 1 second of it, and then add 20 minutes of just your own asshole. Just go in the bathroom and just record your own anus opening and closing for 20 minutes. Tack it on to your kid dancing for a second, put that on Facebook. Everybody will write the same thing. That's adorable. I think I see a future star. Don't tape shit on your... Life is short. Life is very short.
I have two children, 9 and 12 years old. Both girls. They're both gay. I'm raising them gay. Most people raise their kids straight. I'm just gonna raise mine gay. They'll do what they want later, but as long as they're in my house, they're gay. I tell them every day, you're gay, honey, good night. Go to bed. Brush your gay teeth, gay honey. Don't forget to be gay. Having children is a big responsibility, and I've never really done very...
There's a lot of things I wonder if the world was different. Like, if murder was legal, I might have killed a few people. I don't know. I'd love to think, oh, I would never do that. But we really need the law against murder. For one simple reason. The law against murder is the #1 thing preventing murder. We'd like to think it's because, like, oh, I would never do that. No, it's because it really sucks getting caught murdering. A lot. If murder was legal or just a misdemeanor, like you get a thing in the mail, ah, shit, they had a camera there. If murder was legal, there would be so much murder. Regular people would murder. Murderers would murder even more. And then really nice, sweet people would murder a few people. But nobody would murder no people. You wouldn't trust somebody who didn't murder. If murder was legal, you wouldn't like them. I never killed anybody. Okay, nice meeting you. Ugh. What a creep. I mean, not even a hooker. Live a life. What's wrong with that guy? He's like a Mormon or some shit. I hate those guys. I think he's nice. Shut up, Janet. It would just... If murder was legal, there would be a lot of murder. Children would behave very differently. Because mostly parents would be murdering their own kids. That's mostly what would happen if murder was legal. You'd be, you go to a mall, there'd be like 8 different moms in the mall just, I told you to stop it! You didn't listen to me! You'd be stepping over dead kids. It would be like a new problem. You have to clean up your kids when you kill them, because it's gross. It's bad for the environment. If you murder your child in a public place, please use one of the red bags that are in the dispensers every 3 feet of America. Put your murdered child in the red bag with a logo of a murdered kid on it. Next to the other logo that tells you not to let your alive kid play with a plastic bag because they might suffocate. In which case, you could just leave them in the bag. That is a whole bunch of horrible thoughts right in a row. Right in a row. That is a compressed area of bad thought.
I had a string of dumb thoughts the other day. I don't remember what town I was in. I was on the road. I was just standing in front of my hotel. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's usually what I'm doing at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just standing in front of my hotel. Because I've been inside all day, just with the jacking off of the ice cream. It's just horrible. It's like a horrible thing. All day, just depths of fucking hell. I wake up, I get like chicken wings. Shit nobody eats at 10 a.m. Like really hot wings, and I eat them all. And then I'm like, ugh. So I get ice cream to cool it off, and then I feel worse, so I jack off and pass out. I turn off my phone in case my kids call. I can't fucking face anybody. I wake up covered with 3 kinds of shame glaze just covering my body. And so right around 5 in the afternoon, it starts getting dark, and I'm like, I gotta be in the daylight just once. I have to at least one time in the day be in daylight. And I just stand there, that's it. Like a fucking mental patient in a bathrobe, just. Cigarette burns on the robe and shit. Some girl telling me she got married, I'm not listening. Daddy, this is my husband. That's what it feels like anyway. And I start looking at people, and they're all crispy clothed and rosy cheeked and full of purpose. And they're making me feel worse. And I'm about to go back in the hotel and jack off another time.
Yeah, my dog died recently. I had to tell the kids that the dog is dead. That's a tough thing, telling your kids that the dog died. You gotta tell them at some point. You can't just keep going. Where? No, where'd you go? Well, there he goes.
That little scamp, go get him.
Told my kids the dog died, and we dealt with it. And I was proud of them how they expressed their feelings about it. They cried. I was proud of them how they dealt with their feelings and what they said about it and how they processed it. And I realized this was a positive thing. That's how you start thinking as a parent. A lot of things you don't think of would be positive really are because a dog dying is an opportunity to deal with death. With your kids, it's like a dry run for grandma. It is. It is. Dog dies, you talk about it, you deal with it. Later on, you go, so you know all that stuff we talked about the dog? Yes, so grandma now. Mm-hmm. All the same stuff. That's right. All right, go brush your teeth. I had a dog when I was a kid, and he hated me. And it really hurt. It's a true story. My dog hated me. And I wanted a dog so bad. I was like 10 years old. I used to beg my mother for a dog. And she just would say, like, you had one when you were a baby and it died. It's fine. But finally, she said, you can have a dog if you keep your room clean for a month. And I was so excited because I was like, I'm getting a dog. I told all my friends, I'm going to get a dog. All I have to do is keep my room clean for a month. I lasted about a week, and it just went to shit. I couldn't do it. And I tried like 3-4 days. I couldn't do it. And I got so depressed. I was like, I'm 10 and I already know my life is gonna be shit because I can't do anything. And finally my mom was like, well, get the dog. You're bumming everybody out. So she got us a dog. And the dog looked at me and he hated me on sight. And I worked hard to take care of this dog. I was kind to him and he still hated me, which hurt. That's why it hurt. Because he must have just hated like who I am inside. You could tell how he felt because he was very expressive. He was a terrier, you know, so he had eyebrows. Like, I'd walk in the room and he'd go like, oh, fuck, I can't. And he would just leave. I would take him for a walk and I had to use a leash, and I didn't want to use a leash. I want to be one of those cool guys with a dog that just comes along. You know, those guys always got like a suede jacket with patches in it. And like scratchy hair, and he's like, hey, and gets in his old pickup, and he's like, come on, dog. He goes like, you know those guys that can whistle, that cool whistle? Whatever. Woo! And the dog jumps in the back, and they both get laid somewhere because they're both so cool. That's what I wanted. But my dog would go for a walk, and the leash was like taut, like this. It wasn't even like, yeah, we're friends. It was like, dude, I'm far from this kid. Can I get my face? He would be choking himself the whole thing. And if I ever like slipped and dropped the leash, he was like, I'm not your dog. He would just run. He would run like a slave. He would just take off. That's how he ran. It's an apt description. That's how he ran. He didn't run like a deer. This is how deer ran. He ran like this. He ran away so many times, and then we got a call from the pound. Hi, we have your dog. And you could hear my dog in the background like, don't. Seriously? I told you I don't want to. I've never been a big animal. I'll tell you a little about my life. I was raised in an orphanage about a block from my parents' house. And that's a joke, but my father, this is true, my father is Mexican. And, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Anyway, no, but I won't, no, it's all right. Good for you. Naughty, naughty. All right. My father's Mexican. My mother is dead. So I'm half dead on my father's side. On my mother's side, my father's Mexican. A lot of people don't believe I'm Mexican. And when I tell them I'm Mexican, they say stupid things like, well, how can you look like that? What do you mean, how? Like I'm trying not to look Mexican? Like, no, look, see? I'm not Mexican. Then I get home like, senor.
My parents divorced when I was about 10, and now I have 2 kids, and their parents are divorced too, which is interesting. I remember when we got divorced, we told the kids, because you should tell your kids if you're getting divorced. Don't just do it and wait for them to be like, hey, yeah, duh, fucking, you know. You gotta tell them. But so, I remember it's a tricky thing, because they were little, and you gotta tell them in a way that they can get in their life, you know? So I remember we sat the kids down, I said, listen, love is tricky. Like, you love your dog, right? You love your dog. You would do anything for your dog. You even give your dog food off your plate when you're not supposed to because you love your dog, right? One time, remember your mom and I were like, don't give the dog ham, but you did because you love your dog so much. Okay, so that's why we're getting a divorce. Because you don't listen. And we can't take it anymore. It's too difficult, so we're gonna move to separate homes and each have you for half the week because neither of us wants to be with you all the time. And it's very sad because I love your mother very, very much, and she loves me very much, but we hate you more. So that's how we handled it. Just did our best. I remember my father was tough. My dad was tough, Mexican father. I remember one time I was 6 years old, I was crying, and my father said, I'll give you something to cry about. And then he fucked me in the ass. And you know what? He was right. I did cry. And I realized that what I had been crying about was not that important, you know? So, you know, you gotta teach your kids, man. You gotta teach your kids. By the way, I should say to you that that's not true. It's not a true story. I should say that because my dad's still alive. And I have been dating recently. Dating's not fun. Dating's horrible. Nobody wants to date. Even if you meet somebody and you really want to go out with them and they say yes, you're excited in that moment. But the day of the date, you're like, I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to do this. Every time I'm ringing a doorbell to pick a woman up, I'm like, I hope she's dead in there. I really do. I hope something awful happened. I don't want to sit in a place and breathe unevenly for 3 hours and just sweating where your body is folded and just, You ever have a date that goes well? It's like good from the beginning. You're like, you get a little laugh at the beginning. Hi, ha, ha, something funny, and they both laugh. Feels good. You agree on stuff. When you don't agree, you laugh about it. You're even able to be quiet a little bit while you're eating, and it's nice, feels comfortable. And then you drop them off, and you're like, I hope I see you again. And she says, I hope so too. And you feel like, this is something new in my life. This is wonderful. Then you go home, and your wife is like, where were you all night? You know, and you're just fucking... But I'm older now. I'm divorced, and I still date mostly women who are younger than me recently, because that's who looks better. No, it's true. But I don't like I've always been with women my age or older. I was married to a woman a year older than me for 10 years, and that's always been the way you know, there's some guys that have to be with a younger woman. There's cultures that believe the man should be much older. Like, there's religions that have like a formula, you know? Like, take the man's age and subtract 10, and then whatever else you have to do to get to 12, just solve for 12. But I didn't suddenly get interested in younger women. What happened was I got older and they got interested in me because younger women like older guys. They just do this. The other part nobody says. I don't do anything to get younger women. I just stand there like this. And they see me and they're like, that would be so weird to fuck that old guy. And then we get blamed. The older guy always gets blamed. You see an older man with a young woman, everybody's like, that guy's a pervert. No, she's a pervert. He's normal. He likes pretty women. She likes that. The fuck is wrong with her? And they're weird. I was having sex with this woman, and she was about 35, and we're in bed. She starts calling me daddy. I was like, please don't, young lady. Please don't do that. She said, why does it make you uncomfortable when I call you daddy during sex? Is it because you have daughters? I said, no. It makes me uncomfortable because I have a father. And I used to call him daddy when he fucked me. So. By the way, thanks for laughing at me because I got fucked by my dad. I was not laughing at the time because I was coming because he fucked me good. My daddy fucked me so good. It's not his fault. I made him do it. I was such a brat.